The market is sitting at all-time highs, and Apple had a huge down week in here on the week. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if we pull back any more in the market just to kind of consolidate. Is Apple going to keep on following, or is it going to follow suit, I guess, with the market, or are we going to start we're going to continue that inverse correlation, right? So the market pulls back a little bit, Apple starts to take off, and then we go from there. So that is going to be the kind of the overall question we're looking at going into this week. We're sitting right underneath that 260 level in here for Apple. Our next levels that we're looking at here on the upside, we're looking at 265, 267, and then 268. That's going to be where our 9-day EMA is currently trading. On the downside in here, we're looking at 259.24. So we're basically sitting right on it right now. 255, 46, 245, and then we're looking at 231. That's going to be your lower Bollinger Band here, and that 50-day SMA. They're all kind of meeting up right here in that area. So a little bit of a breakout in here, I guess, to the downside of this overall trend or I guess 2 weeks ago. This week, obviously, just a continuation of that. So these trend lines are basically going to be null and void unless we do get a nice little pop in here. But for right now, we're watching the 265, 267, 268 on the upside. Downside, we're looking at 259, 255, and that 231 area. On our expected move for our volatility, it looks like we're pricing in right around a $6 expected move by this Friday. And then by the end of the month, it looks like everybody's pricing in basically a $10 expected move, more or less. You have earnings coming up at the end of the month in here, so expect volatility to really pick up and expand in here overall in the markets. I'm not sure how that's going to affect Apple since we already had a drawdown in here on the week. So that's another thing that we need to look at. So pay attention to your divergence between all of your major ETFs and Apple, as well as that market correlation, especially as we get closer to earnings report in here. We're going to see what type of volatility starts to come in, or we start to kind of suck out. So that is what we're looking at in here in Apple. $6 expected move by this Friday. We have earnings coming up at the end of the month. 265, 267 on the downside. We're looking at 255, 245, and then 231. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.